Talking Tactics is out now. We have a little look at the Carabao Cup final and Arsenal and Manchester City's title hopes. What else, Matisse?
Chelsea versus Tottenham, and also Manchester City's win against Bournemouth. Check it out on DR Sports.
Arsenal beating Leicester by a 1-0, and it was I thought personally, as an Arsenal fan, I thought it was a very good performance by Arsenal.
Good away performance.
Should have won by more, really. Yeah. Absolutely dominated the game. Looked like the home team. We know Leicester's a dangerous team. Their last game at home they beat Tottenham, was it 4-1? 4-1, wasn't it? And
it was.
They, even that game that they lost against Man United. I didn't mean to drop it like that. I'm just
no,
giving
it's just
stats.
their face. I love it.
Even that game against Manchester United with Leicester, they started well. If it weren't for De Gea, But in this game, they didn't get a kick. There was only one. I think they only had one shot, none on target. It was like a long-range shot.
Was it 0.01 XG?
Yeah, they were
which is
poor.
the lowest
They
in
also
Premier
had
League
they had
history.
no James Maddison, so the thing that makes them tick wasn't there.
That's one
Shock.
player.
Shock, he's out for your game. Shock.
Yeah.
You sound hurt by that.
Yeah.
He played in your game though,
Honestly,
didn't he?
it's the most Tottenham
But
thing ever.
Arsenal were excellent on the day. And let me just say, Jorginho, again, with another great performance, Matisse. Thank you very much. He's doing very well at the moment. Jorginho at the moment, in that midfield area, is so creative.
Yeah.
What was it? Because he didn't really show as much as that at Chelsea, did he?
I think the constant managerial upheaval at Chelsea has probably worked against him. I think Kante's injury as well has worked against him, because that was his perfect kind of partner in crime. And the thing is with Jorginho is he's from Sarri, and you guys play a lot more, I call it factory football, where it's like a conveyor belt of actions. One pass leads to the next, leads to the next. You guys know what you're doing. You're not dilly-dallying on the ball, looking for options. No one knows whether they should come short, make a run in behind. There's no system there. It's changing from manager to manager. There's loads of different players suited to different systems. You've put him in a team that is singing from the same song sheet. Everybody knows what their role is, and it's just flowing. And he's just able to pick up the ball, pick up his head. Saka's making a run. Martinelli's making a run, and that's what he likes. He can play the ball in between the lines. He can play progressive passes, but he needs people around him that know where to pick up the ball in the right areas and where to make the right runs, and that's what's happening. Defensively, as of yet,
You think he's improved, Arsenal?
I would say Partey was brilliant. I wouldn't say that. It's going to be very difficult to improve.
When I say improved Arsenal, in
terms of the depth, 100%. In terms of you had Lokonga and you had El Neni.
Yeah, normally,
of course.
Thomas Partey's out. You know what you just said about Maddison. Yeah. Normally, match day, you pick the phone up, Partey's out, you just drop it. It drops out your hand. And then after that, you're just like in shivers. You're like, oh my God.
Shivers,
That's how bad it is, because how important he is to the team. But the last two games, two really tricky away games, away at Aston Villa and away at Leicester, Partey's not played. Partey came off the bench at the weekend, so he was fit. He didn't start Partey, and we didn't miss him. And I thought Jorginho was excellent, and Trossard as well. Have those two signings kind of transformed Arsenal?
They've improved you.
Definitely. I told you they would when you signed them, and Arsenal fans were sitting there saying, yeah, but we want Mudryk and we want this one, and Caicedo for 80 million. And I remember sitting there doing a transfer show and saying they're smart signings. You've got someone like Trossard who you got for an absolute bargain, and I still think Tottenham should have, not offered 12 million and should have offered the actual price and gone for him. But I think it was a really smart signing for Arsenal.
He's looking to steal it.
Looking a really good steal, slots in perfectly to what you're implementing. And with Jorginho, it's someone that's done it before. He's won loads of things with Chelsea. It's coming, it's bringing that mentality. And also, you're bringing him in not to replace Partey, but to, when Partey's out, to step up and do a job. And I think it was always a good signing. I never understood why Arsenal fans were so against it.
I think there's a lot of extremism on Jorginho in terms of, he's either the best DM in the world or he's the worst DM in the world. It's like he's a very, very good player. You don't do what he did in our Champions League winning campaign, do what he's done in the Euros for Italy. I saw him come on at the Emirates and change the game one time, coming on at half time. I think Tariq Lamptey came on as well and changed the game for us. He's done it plenty of times before. He's a very, very good footballer. He does still have his limitations in terms of physicality. He is at times going to get skipped past in transition if you guys don't play in a compact manner and get people around him, and then he will stack up the tackles and interceptions. I think Chelsea, funnily enough, when you look at our team now in that area in our game when we get to it, you know, we're actually worse defensively now, because now we don't have him as a sitter, and we're still imbalanced. So no, he has a lot to bring to the team.
Though, Rob, just before we move on, I did call this about Jorginho. I've just gone on my Twitter the day you signed him. I said, and I quote verbatim, Jorginho is a great signing for Arsenal. There will come a point where his experience sees them over the line in games this season, like the Aston Villa game. Loads of trophies in the bank. They've added him to Zinchenko and Jesus as winners. Arguably had no winners last year in the squad.
No, I think, and I think that was a very good tweet, because
didn't like it though.
You know, I don't like any of your tweets. Oh, but no. To be fair, I remember actually when we signed Jorginho, and like I was doing my transfer show, and I'm like, I think this is a really smart signing. Makes perfect sense. And I got hammered. Like Arsenal fans, well, not all Arsenal fans, but a load of them came for me. They were like, no, it's another Chelsea op. You know what I mean? And I said, no, listen, look at this signing. Number one, he's a good player. We know he's a good player, right? Number two, I was really playing hard on that experience factor. Yeah. He's experienced. He comes in, he hits the ground running. There's no... You know, a bit like what Chelsea have got at the moment, where they've got loads of great players, but can you start this guy in the heat of the battle at White Hart Lane when he's never been there before? We need to ease that player in. Whereas Jorginho, you know, you can just throw him into any of them games. He's been there, done that. He's played at those grounds a million times. He knows what it is. You know what I mean? So that's why I thought it was a good signing. And Trossard as well. Are you starting to look at Arsenal and think they can do this?
Wrong question to ask.
I'm asking that.
No, I think that I still think it will go further down the line.
It's still very close. Still 2 points.
Yeah, it's still 2 points. I mean, I expect you to beat Everton this week.
That's the game in hand.
That's the
legendary game in hand.
Yeah,
will be used up on Wednesday.
I expect you to win that game, and then I don't know. I don't know.
She doesn't want to say it, but the answer is yes.
There is
Abby, come on.
There is a potential that it could happen, but I will still hold out hope until the very last second that it doesn't.
Gotta love it.
Do you think they can go all the way?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. They've proved it.
I've still got City as favourites, but I think Arsenal have shown already that they're in it for the long haul. The mentality is on another level from previous squads. The depth now is there in terms of some of the players they can bring in. I still haven't seen your new Polish defender that I tried to hijack on air.
Kiwior, Kiwior should be. I reckon he might start in the Europa League.
Yeah.
Or he'll get some game time in it. Yeah. See, this is what we're saying when we're talking about bringing in signings, because this guy's supposed to be quite highly rated.
There's no need to bring him in right now.
And he played in the World Cup.
Yeah.
But played every game for Poland in the World Cup. But why? Again, he's not. Can you bring him in immediately into the heat of the battle unless you have to?
There's no need.
There's no need to.
I'm interested to see how you are again when you're playing Thursday, Sunday.
Yeah, I think the squad is better now, though. I think the squad is a lot better.
Just Thursday, Sunday, just any pressure. I'm just interested to see how you're going to get on. You might be fine.
The one thing
I'm just saying the squad is better now, Abby, because those signings of Jorginho and Trossard and. They've come in. I mean, they both started at the weekend. It was, and Trossard was excellent. And then as well, you've got to remember that Jesus is coming back. I mean, he should be back. Well, there's rumours that he could be back within the next game or so. That he's very close to coming back. And if he comes back and hits the ground running, I mean, that's another. All right, can't look at her face.
Honestly, it's mad, isn't it?
Man.
And people say I'm salty.
You are.
Chilled.
Yeah, look at her though.
I'm chilled.
Oh, jeez.
I actually dread to think what your reaction is going to be. I mean, I know what my reaction is going to be if they win it. I already said I'm booking flights. I'm on the first plane back to Ireland.
I'll see you again in August.
Milking cows and stuff.
I won't be coming back.
Yeah.
I'll be having the whole summer.
So
there's this guy here, Gouda San7 says, Abby, question: do you throw up after talking about Arsenal?
Well, if you look at my face, it looks like I'm about to be sick every time.
It actually does. Can we get a bag or something?
There's been times you look sick to the stomach talking about
Arsenal. It's gone green.
It does make me feel sick. It really does. I literally can't even think about it. It's like,
right.